Hello and good morning, everyone. I am Dr. Rabab Kaur and I'm a physiotherapist who has specialized in musculoskeletal. I'm speaking today on the behalf of School of Medical and Allied Sciences, Galgotias University. So we have been discussing all our practicals so far. This makes us to come to our last practical, that is practical number 10, the aim of which is to evaluate the cell biology. Proceeding on, let us revise or recapitulate what we read about in our last practical class. We learned about what are vitamins, why are they necessary, they are not produced in our body, and what sources of food can provide us with various types of vitamins. We discussed about how many types of vitamins are there and deficiency of each leads to what problem in our body. We also discussed about two categories of vitamins, that is water soluble and fat soluble vitamins, and problems associated with due to their deficiency. After reading about vitamins, we will be today reading about the cell biology. The objective of today's practical session is to evaluate the cell biology, to understand and learn about animal and plant cell in detail and also about their differences, to understand the functioning of various components of a cell, that what all components are present inside a cell and what each component has a value to. Introducing the topic, as we all know, we have been reading in from our 10th and 12th standards that cell is the smallest unit of a living organism which is responsible for all the activities of our body, which includes all the structural, biochemical, and physiological functions of the organism. Cell biology is a branch of biology focused on the study of cell structure and function, on how cells form and divide, and how they differentiate and specialize. So we are not just reading about the cell, but we also read about, whenever we try to study about a cell, we also try to understand about its cell biology, its structure, its function, on how it is dividing, how it is receiving its nutrition, what kind of cell specializes in what, and what happens if particular kind of cell goes beyond its capacity of growing, leads to cancer, and what all complications can happen with defect in each or the other cell. Now, what is cell metabolism? Cell metabolism refers to a series of biochemical processes whereby cells use energy to sustain themselves. So as we can see from this beautiful diagram which I have included in this video, that there are atoms which are supposedly to be the smallest unit of matter available to us, to the mankind till date. So atoms make up the simple molecules which are quite larger in size and shape as compared to atoms. Simple molecules leads up to macromolecules, comparatively bigger molecules, which forms the membranes. The membranes after its formation leads to formation of organelles. Then it leads to formation of the cells, which is the smallest unit of the living organism. From cells, they form tissues. From tissues, we tend to get organs. From different types of and many types of organs, we tend to have organ system. And after the organ system, we tend to have a complete organism. So from atoms to organism, all these things are responsible in forming a human being or any kind of living organism. Now there are basically two main types of cells. Then they are prokaryotic cells, for example PPLO, that is pleuropneumonia-like organism, and eukaryotic cell, for example all the plants, animals and microorganisms. To understand what these are, I have included a small video and I'll be explaining these two types of cells, what they have in common in that video itself. So now looking at the difference between the prokaryotic and the eukaryotic cells. Number one, structure. We'll be focusing on the structure and what is present and what is not present in between both of them. So if I talk about cell wall, which is present in the prokaryotic cells, it is present in the plant cells if we are talk about eukaryotic cells, but it is absent in the animal cells. Plasma membrane is present in prokaryotic cells and present in eukaryotic cells. Endoplasmic reticulum is absent in prokaryotic cells, whereas present in eukaryotic cells. Golgi bodies, mitochondria and lysosomes, all three are absent in the prokaryotic cells, whereas all of these three are present in the eukaryotic cells. Ribosomes, they are both present in prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells, but in prokaryotic cells they are present as 70S ribosomes, whereas in eukaryotic cells they possess as 80S eukaryotic cells. Next is cytoskeleton. Cytoskeleton is absent in prokaryotic cells and it is present in eukaryotic cells. Centriole, it is absent in prokaryotic cells whereas present in eukaryotic cells. Whereas centriole is also absent in eukaryotic cells in case of higher plants. Cilia and flagella, which is actually responsible for causing movement, are simple structure of protein in prokaryotic cells known as flagellin, whereas they are complex 9+2 structure of tubulin in a case of eukaryotic cells. Vesicles are present in prokaryotic cells and present in eukaryotic cells. Vacuoles, nucleus, and nuclear membrane. We have discussed about nucleus and nuclear membrane. These three are absent in prokaryotic cells, whereas all of these three are present in eukaryotic cells. Next, talking about another structure, that is nucleolus with mitotic apparatus. They are absent in prokaryotic cells, whereas these are present in the eukaryotic cells. Genetic material, they are both present in prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells, but they are circular or linear and double-stranded DNA in a case of prokaryotic cell, whereas linear double-stranded DNA in a case of eukaryotic cell. Chromatin with histone is present in prokaryotic cells, whereas it is absent in the eukaryotic cells. So these are the basic differences which we talked about right now between the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. We also discussed from that video what are the basic commonalities through the Venn diagram. Coming now, there are another two major variety of cells, that is an animal cell and a plant cell. I have introduced a short video where we will be discussing about the basic differences between an animal cell and a plant cell. And after that, we'll be also talking about the function of each of the organelles present inside each of these cells. Let's have a look at them. Now, functions of the different cell organelles. Number one, let's talk about plasma membrane. The functions of plasma membrane are to maintain the external shape of the cell, to protect the protoplasm and its constituents, to control the entry and exit of the material across the membrane. So it helps the cell from getting affected by outside environment or various kinds of things or materials that can harm a cell. So that is the function of the organelle known as plasma membrane. Another one which we will be talking about is endoplasmic reticulum. The function of ER is to exchange materials between the external environment and cell organelles. ER tubules provide additional surface for metabolic activities, and another function of them is to synthesize the steroid material. Now let us see what is the function of mitochondria. We have been reading since our past sessions and we all know that mitochondria is known as the powerhouse of the cell. So the function of mitochondria is to produce energy by oxidation of the food material and to provide energy for vital activities. Thus, it acts as a powerhouse of the cell. Another organelle present inside the cell are Golgi bodies. The function of Golgi bodies is to protect the enzymes and proteins, to finish, package and dispatch a variety of compounds, and to form acrosome in the sperms. Coming to the next cell organelle, we have ribosomes. The major function of the ribosome is to synthesize protein, which are the building blocks of our body. Another structure which we'll be looking at is lysosomes. The function of lysosomes is to store enzymes for digestion of various fragments of the cell, their proteins and carbohydrates, to engulf bacteria and other toxic products entering into the cell. Another organelle is nuclear membrane. The function of nuclear membrane is to maintain the shape of the nucleus, to regulate the entry and exit of the material in the nucleus. Another organelle is nucleolus. The function of nucleolus is to store RNA and to synthesize protein by it. So nucleolus is actually producing the RNA and storing the RNA and utilizing that RNA later on to synthesize protein by it. Next organelle is nuclear material or chromatic network. The function of this is to carry the hereditary characters, or which we now call it as genetics or genetic material, and pass them from one generation to another. So as we see that we always talk about that the kid resembles a lot like a mother or a father or an aunt or a nearby relative. This is all contained, all this genetic information is contained in the nuclear material or the chromatic network, which is actually is responsible for transferring of all the information of all the genetic material from the parents to the offspring. Another function of nuclear material is to regulate all the vital activities of the cell. So these were the basic functions of the different cell organelles which are present inside the cell. Looking at the summary of this presentation is, we learnt about what is a cell. That cell is the basic unit of life, and what is the basic difference between an animal cell and a plant cell. We also discussed about the functions of the different cell organelles. There are many more cell organelles, and we here actually discussed various important ones. In further sessions, we'll be discussing more functions about of these organelles. We also learnt about through our video what is a prokaryotic and a eukaryotic cell, what are the basic commonalities and what are the basic differences between both of these cells. I hope this session was informative enough. Thank you.